holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are
We have come together as family. We have come here as we are. Yeah. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love, especially at Parker. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. One more time. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration, and we sing with words of prayer. Oh yeah, we affirm our life as sacred. We declare peace is here. Peace is here. Because Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. The Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Yes, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place.
Good mornings. Am I turned on? Am I mic'd? Okay, so I'm okay. All right. Good morning, CSL Parker. Now I can hear myself. Welcome. Really glad you guys are here on this almost holiday weekend. If you're here for the very first time, we want to extend a very special welcome to you. If you haven't been here but a few times, we're glad you keep coming back. If you haven't done so already, please, and this applies to anyone, please pick up a visitor packet at the welcome table and complete that little postcard so that it's not, you don't mail it, but complete that little card so that you will get our weekly email blast and know what's going on with us. Before I finish announcements today, you'll realize how important it is to get that weekly email blast. So a big thank you, a big welcome to Thomas Lick, our guest musician today. And a big thank you to Catherine Ward, who did our beautiful altar. All right. Now into the announcements. There are still a few openings in Dr. Vern's Saturday class, Good Vibrations. And I heard why there's still a few openings. Everybody's afraid he's going to start singing Good Vibrations. I have it on good authority that that's not in the curriculum and will not be tolerated. So there are still a few openings in the Saturday class. Christmas in July. We're all over it this year. We're going to have a food drive for the Parker Task Force. Donations have been down, and they've asked us to help them out. So the first 3 Sundays in July, bring your canned goods, non-perishable, and I'm sure they accept green money too. Dave will have Dave's over here. He will have his truck out front parked so that you don't have to haul your stuff in and then turn around and haul it back out after the service. So his truck will be out there again the first 3 Sundays in July. Christmas in July is such a hit that we've started planning. Yes? There's a needs list for Parker Task Force back at the education table. I'm sure they welcome any non-perishable goods, but their special needs are listed there. So Christmas in July is such a hot item that we are already beginning to schedule and think about next July. You'll want to celebrate Christmas in July with us because we'll be doing it off the coast of Alaska. Anna Cohen is putting together our first ever CSL Parker cruise. She'll have further information at the education table, and a $500 deposit will guarantee your slot on this cruise. So, did you know we have valet parking? Oh, no, that's not right. What do we have? We have parking valets. We've been spared this week because the athletic leagues are not playing this week or next. But beginning on July 17th, we have a need. July 13th, I'm in rare form today. We have a need for people to assist with the parking valet role. As you probably know, Bob Duvall and Joe Albers have been doing this. But it's a job that should easily be rotated amongst people. And I thought a little bit about who would be appropriate to be a parking valet. And I might be, because I really like telling people where to go and what to do. So if you want to exercise that on a Sunday morning, please be sure and talk with Bob Duvall. And then we have a few save-the-date things later on in the summer. Our annual picnic is scheduled for Sunday, August 17th, immediately after the service. It will be at the Creekside Recreation Center, where it has been in the past. The church will be supplying fried chicken, coleslaw, and water, and attendees will be supplying all of the ingredients that make that into a wonderful church picnic. Again, Sunday, August 17th. Be sure you get that in your calendar. And moving on into September, we're having a volunteer appreciation dinner. This is going to be quite the affair. It is a catered event. So if you haven't volunteered lately, you might want to just do double time. See if you can finagle an invitation to that dinner. I can't guarantee, I don't know what the threshold is, but give it a shot and see if you can't go ahead and secure an invitation for that. Now let's just take a minute and change gears. Today's reading is a few of my favorite quotes from Ernest Holmes. The first, we've all heard this one before. Change your thinking, change your life. Next, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what they think into it. Where the mind goes, energy flows. All limitations are self-imposed, and prepare your mind to receive the best that life has to offer. So let's now prepare ourselves to receive the best that life has to offer. Knowing that this service is blessed, that every ingredient, every volunteer, every musician, everyone here is blessed today. Reverend David's message is so appropriate and is so welcome. I know that each person here gets exactly what is right for them. We all hear different words and we all get different messages, and that is exactly as it should be. So knowing that this service is blessed, please join me in saying, and so it is.
are pretty easy, so please feel free to sing along. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough.
So I invite you to settle in where you are. Feel yourself supported by the chair. Feel the energy of your body just pressing against the chair, pressing against the back. Feel your feet against the floor. Know that you are supported by the energy in the space, by the energy that each one has brought into this space, the energy of love and light. And take a deep breath as you breathe all of that in, every ounce of it that you can possibly take in right here, right now. Breathe it in, feel yourself up, feel every cell of your body coming alive with that truth of light and love. Feel every breath expanding your awareness of that truth. As we take this opportunity to, yes, go inside, go into that place, to the depth of our being, where what we know as God, that impulse of life itself that is always moving us, always guiding us, always impulsing more and more and more and greater life, that evolutionary impulse right here, right now, at the very center of our being. And in that space, there's love, there's light, there's more than enough of all that is possibly needed or desired or wanted. It is right here, right now, present as the very essence of each of us as we open ourselves up to the realization of it, to the acceptance of it, to the embodiment of it, and yes, to the expression of it as well. So as we open ourselves up to what is emerging as each of us right here, right now, we connect with it, we feel it, we may see it, we may hear it, we may experience it as a sensation. So I invite you just to stop for a moment, settle in, go into the quiet, connect and listen, feel, hear. And as we are willing to, in fact, let's leave the world, leave our attachment to the world around us, all that we might be witnessing, all that we might see, and just leave that aside as we go in. And we feel and we sense that life, that power that is living itself as us right here, right now, just urging us forward. So once again, let us sing that together. Open up to the awareness of that and affirm that for yourself.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace. Inside there is peace. Inside there is joy. Inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace. Inside there is joy. Inside there is more than enough.
So take a deep breath, breathe into that awareness. And as we take that deep breath all the way down through the bottom of our feet and ground it right here, right now, and as we say together, let us proclaim, and so it is.
First of all, thank you for having me here at CSL Parker. I've never been here before, and this is a cool space. Thank you, Reverend David, so much. All right. What in the world are we still doing here? What do we see when we look in the mirror? 'Cause I'm just looking for something true. And I believe that I might find it. Maybe I'll find it in you. Just show me where the heart is. Would you show me where the heart is? I need to feel right where the heart is. Just show me where the heart is. Remember when we felt the summer? Remember when we felt the rain down on your skin? Where did you choose your sense of wonder? Fireworks going off in your head. 'Cause there was a time we were thinking we were flying. We were alive. I want to feel alive, 'cause I'm just looking for something that's true. And I believe that I might find it. Maybe I'll find it in you. Just show me where the heart is. Would you show me where the heart is? Need to feel right where the heart is. Just show me where the heart is. Would you show me where the heart is? I need to feel right where the heart is. Show me where the heart is. Just show me where the heart is. Would you show me where the heart is? I need to feel right where the heart is. Just show me where the heart is.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for being here. Many of you probably recognize Tom. He was at Mile High Church for 23 years as the music director there. So we're so blessed to have you today. Thank you for being here, Tom.
Thank you.
So many of you know that several weeks ago we started something new in our service where I'm inviting those of you who would be willing and ready to share some of your experiences about your journey through science of mind, religious science, and through the experience here at CSL Parker. And so today I want to invite Janice Tabaka up to share her experiences with us.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Well, growing up, I was very, very lucky. From as early as I can remember, there was always a higher power. There was always spirit. There was always God. And I don't know that it was a formal thing because we didn't have a church to go to. But what we had in my home was the daily word. And that's what my mom and dad and I read every morning. Some of you may be familiar with it. And it came from a spiritual practice called Unity, which is, of course, familiar to a lot of you. And that continued throughout my life. I kind of give my mom a lot of credit for being my spiritual teacher because she was my Sunday school. She was very open and encouraging to have me ask questions. There was a time period when I was a teenager, I went to a Southern Baptist church for about a year because that was the only thing in this small town that teenagers could do was to get together in this little Baptist church. And even as a teenager, I would come home and say to my mom, "Tell me about hell. I don't know about hell. I don't know about being a sinner. And this is, I don't know about this stuff. I don't like this stuff. It doesn't feel good. You know, how does this fit with what we've been talking about all these years?" And so she said, "Well, okay, let's talk about it." And so I'd ask questions, and she'd say, "Well, this is my belief, and you have to figure out what feels right to you, because it's really about what you believe and what fits. And it might be Baptist. It doesn't sound like it is, but it could be." And so, anyway, a few years later, we found a Unity Church in Tucson, Arizona, and that's where my husband and I got married. Again, he had grown up between Baptist and Catholic, but he really embraced the unity, and so I've just, again, I feel so lucky that I didn't grow up with a lot of dogma. I didn't grow up with, it has to be this way or you're going to hell. You know, I just feel so lucky for that, so blessed for it. And so here in Colorado, we went to, I think, just about every Unity and every CSL church that we could find around the metro area, and sometimes in the mountains, and sometimes in Colorado Springs. And There were times when we would stay with one church for a while, and then, we'd kind of go, well, the kids seem like they're not really feeling it here. Maybe we should look for something different. So it's been a process, but we've bounced back and forth, and I love that there's so many similarities between Unity and CSL. And one of the things that I think that's helped me in my process is to look for those similarities. And it helps me not only with a spiritual process, but also with political, with the world right now, to try to keep reminding myself to look for the similarities, look for the things that we're all breathing the same air. Well, we're all breathing air, let's put it that way. So a few years ago, there was a big change in my life, and with a lot of you all who experienced a big change from COVID. I spent about 6 months in South Carolina, which left me feeling like I was in a spiritual desert. And during the time of COVID and being in South Carolina in particular, I started watching YouTubes a lot for various, and I do feel like this is one of the gifts for me from COVID, that I really got accustomed to and familiar and comfortable with YouTube. And oh my gosh, the wealth of information that's there. Positive, negative, you name it, you can find it on YouTube. Ask YouTube. It's like ask Google. Oh, well, ask YouTube. So I started watching David, especially when I was in South Carolina. And I just thought, oh my God, if I could ever be in a place where I'm in the same energy that he's in, I just think I'd elevate. I just think I would be on a whole different spiritual plane. He just, and still does, speaks to my heart. I find that his messages, they elevate me, they take me to a deep spiritual place, and at the same time, there's this genuine part of him that just comes out. I love his laughter. I know. I mean, when he came back here, I'm sure he probably felt like, oh my God, there's these 3 women that are showing up whenever I'm speaking and I'm going to different places, but there's 3 women and they just come up and they gush all over me. Well, yeah, and the 3 of us are here because we were all just so gifted and felt so touched and so taken to a spiritual place. And then, things happened with other churches, and I wound up here, and I was just thinking about it this morning. I never really thought of there being a trifecta necessarily, but this is the spiritual trifecta for me. This is perfection. It's not humongous, it's the right size. And I found Dr. Vern teaching these incredible classes. Oh my God. And I noticed that not only me, but so many of us, we take the classes and then somebody will say, well, what are his classes like? Well, I don't know how to explain them. They're unexplainable. And so I've really been trying to figure out, what are his classes like? How do I tell people about it? And I start to say, well, he channels. He downloads messages, and they come through, and that's this gift for us. And And it also, the classes, I think, because they're small, it builds our community and our strength in our community because we each have the chance to share. And when we share, I mean, it's not just like, well, I stubbed my toe today. It's like, oh, we share. We share our spiritual process, and then we get this affirming feedback that has to be downloaded from this angel who would never accept that, but I've come to think of him that way because he is such a spiritual leader and just has this ability to take whatever is being shared and you feel like, oh my God, I'm gifted. I had wisdom coming out of my mouth and up from my soul, and I was brave enough and vulnerable enough that I was able to share it with everybody. And then afterwards people go, I could so relate to that. I mean, this is community like I have never had a spiritual community before because of all of you that come to the classes, that are here on Sundays, that share your heart, that share your beliefs, that share your fears, that share just who you are and the gift that each of you are in this world. So this is why I'm here. This is CSL Parker, and I am so very grateful. And I'm so very grateful for an opportunity and a place that encourages each of us not to feel like there are rules, but to feel like we all get to make up our own rules and our own ideas and follow that path until it doesn't work, or if it does work, we get to share it. So thank you all for being here, for being a part of my spiritual community, and I'm so blessed and so lucky to be here.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you. Heartfelt. I don't know if I can live up to that. Thank you, Janice. So many of you have been following the last couple of months, actually. I'm finishing up today with this book called Ladder to the Light. And last week I talked about transformation. And this week I'm going to talk about emergence. It's like a 3-page little chapter in the book. And as I was meditating on it this week, I was reminded of a children's story that I was introduced to not as a child, but as an adult, probably maybe 15 years ago when I was 20. And but you know how children's stories are. They have great messages very often, have very beautiful, deep messages that apply not only to children, but to adults as well. And so I was reminded of that, and then I realized I have this representation in my basement of this beautiful butterfly that I actually borrowed from Unity Denver many years ago, and I never gave it back, so don't tell anybody. But the story is called Hope for the Flowers. Has anybody ever heard of that book? It's a beautiful story about a caterpillar, and the caterpillar's name Stripe is the main character in the story. Now, I'm going to just tell you a brief outline of the story, but Stripe is this caterpillar who is kind of on his own, but he's traveling, he's moving around, crawling along, and he comes upon this pillar of caterpillars, a caterpillar pillar. All these caterpillars crawling up. And he said, well, what is going on here? And one of the caterpillars said, well, we've got to get to the top. We've got to find out what's at the top. And he said, what is at the top? Well, nobody knows what's at the top. But we've got to find what's at the top. And so he begins to, okay, well, I've got to find out what's at the top. So he begins to crawl up the top. So he's moving over and around, and all of these caterpillars are just inching their way around and stepping on each other and, pushing each other out of the way to get to the top. Well, along the way, he encounters this other caterpillar named Yellow. And so they kind of have a connection, and then Stripe says, well, it's whoever gets there first. So he's like stepping on her and stepping on, just moving along. And eventually he just says, oh, I just feel so bad. I can't do that. That's not me. It's not who I am. And so he reconnects with Yellow, and they both decide, well, this doesn't feel right. We're just going to go right back down. We're going to just go back down to the bottom of the pillar. And so they spend time, hugging and sharing their time together and just being together and enjoying that space together. But then, there's something in a Stripe that says, it's got to be more. There's got to be more than this. And so Stripe goes and he says, well, let's go and let's go find out what's at the top of this pillar. And so he goes back over there, and Yellow says, no, I think that's just not for me. I think I'll just do something different. So Stripe is, doing his thing up the top of the pillar. And then Yellow moves along, and all of a sudden, she sees this other caterpillar on a branch. And this caterpillar is spinning these threads. And she says, what are you doing? And he said, well, I'm spinning my chrysalis. And she said, well, what is that? Well, it's where I go in and I stop being a caterpillar and I become a butterfly. And she said, well, what is a butterfly? And he says, that's what you are. And she said, well, do I have to die to become a butterfly? And he said, well, not exactly die. You just transform. And you emerge from this chrysalis eventually as this beautiful winged creature that soars above and helps to fertilize and the flowers. He said, without butterflies, there would be very little flowers in the world. And so she begins to, I connect with that. That's what I am. That's who I am. And so she too begins to do that. Well, but at the same time, Stripe is still going up the pillar, pushing his way up the pillar. And then he reaches the top, and he realizes there's nothing there. All he sees at the top of the pillar are other pillars, and other pillars. Other caterpillars trying to reach the top. And he realizes nothing's there. But then he sees this beautiful yellow creature flying right up at the top. And he says to himself, how did you get here without climbing? And so he says, okay, there's nothing here. And so he begins to make his way down. And on his way down, he encounters all of these caterpillars, different shapes and different colors and different sizes. And he's connecting with him. He's whispering, there's nothing up there. There's nothing up there. But they don't believe him. But he keeps on coming. He comes back down. So then Yellow, as the butterfly, she comes over and she greets him. But they don't speak the same language anymore, but she helps him and guides him to also begin to create his chrysalis and become this beautiful butterfly. And so as I think about that, I'm thinking that, for caterpillars to become these butterflies, right? That they have to spin this chrysalis, this tomb, so to speak. And it's really not a tomb, but a womb. It's like he talks about in the book. When we go into the kiva, into the darkness, we can think of it as a tomb, but we can also think of it as a womb, something that's yet to be born, something within us that longs to be expressed, longs to be born. And so if we think about ourselves as those caterpillars who are spinning that chrysalis and going into that, and what I learned about that is that the caterpillar basically dissolves in the chrysalis, becomes goo, so to speak. But in that, there are what they're called imaginal cells, right? And those imaginal cells know exactly what to do, how to combine, how to work together to then produce this beautiful creature called a butterfly. But the butterfly in the chrysalis then has to begin to push its way out of the chrysalis, right? It has to pump its way, and as it's struggling, as it's moving, as it knows it's time to break free, it really has to push. And so when it's pushing, it is providing energy and life to its wings. Without that pushing, without a bit of a struggle, it would not be able to break free. And without the struggle, once it did break free, it would not be able to fly, would not be able to become this butterfly. And so I think about that in relationship to us. That wherever we are on that, many of us, we all go through those phases of life, don't we? I believe there is that, just like it was within Stripe and with Yellow, there's that divine urge, that which is longing for us to experience who we are. And are we struggling? Are we the ones that are seeking the light, seeking the top? Just like all of those caterpillars were thinking, oh, there's something out there. There's something out there that I have to find. There's something that's going to bring me into the awareness of the light. And the realization that comes is it's not out there. That everything that we need, everything that we are to be and become is already within us. Is already that divine spark, that divine urge, the divine calling. Right? Our opportunity, as Tom was singing earlier today, I will leave the world as it is. I will stop seeking it out here, and I'll go within, and I'll find my God. My God, that which is that impulse, that evolutionary impulse that is within all of us, that is calling us to a greater expression, a greater unfolding of who we are. And so our opportunity is to do that. And yes, sometimes we do get to go into that darkness, into the place that might seem like darkness. Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, I think all the time, for us to really become who we are here to be, sometimes other things have to fall away, don't they? Sometimes things have to get dissolved in that space. Our old beliefs, our attitudes, our ways of thinking have to fall away so something can be born within us. And even then, when we get that, when we understand that, sometimes, and I don't know if you've experienced this or not, but sometimes there's a struggle. Sometimes we have to push. Sometimes we have to push against our own boundaries, don't we? Our own ideas of limitation. To break free from that which we have, the darkness or that place where we have allowed ourselves to be. So that we can break free, so we can be strong, and so that we can fly and soar and be the hope for the flowers. Be the hope for other people to grow and to see and to experience their beauty. So I think it happens for us individually, all of those stages, all of those phases. And our opportunity is to recognize that all of that is going on, all of that is happening, and no matter where we find ourselves, to give ourselves some grace and some empathy for wherever that we might be in that place. Because all of it is part of the evolutionary process, the process of transformation and emergence. So what is wanting to emerge as you? and to connect with that. And I also recognize that it happens collectively. What if we visit the world for a moment? And we can see what's happening in the world. Yeah, there are other people who are still seeking whatever it is they think they're going to find out in the world: money, position, power. We see that happening. Can we be grace? Can we give them grace? Can we give them empathy? Can we share that? Can we be that hope for what wants to be expressed? Can we be those lights in the world who are helping people see, and to remind ourselves and to remind each other that it ain't out there? Are we willing to see that what is happening in the world, or at least have the perspective, possibly, that what is happening in the world is that there may be darkness happening in the world? There may be, it may not be a tomb, but it could be a womb. That all the stuff that's happening in the world could be a representation of what was that caterpillar dissolving into and being released so that something beautiful and glorious and full of light can be born. I know sometimes it's hard to see it that way, but what if? What if? Because we know that nothing new can be born until something old is released. It's the whole story of death and resurrection, of crucifixion and resurrection, of new life that we're always moving through. But what we do, I think, very often is try to hold on. No, I'm happy. I just want to be a caterpillar. I'm just going to crawl on the earth for the rest of my life. I'll just be in that place. No. I believe that evolutionary impulse, by whatever name or nature you know it to be, is always calling us to be more. I don't mean to be more, but to be more of who we are, to embrace more of who we are, and to shine that light. Because I love this metaphor of the kiva, where they're down in this, we're connecting in the darkness, we're connecting in that place, and these rungs of the ladder that are leading us to the light. But where is the light? What is the light? I would say it's more about going down the ladder into ourselves to find the light, and then expressing it in the world. So I just love this idea. And I love how sparkly this butterfly is. Can you see yourself as that? This beautiful, bright, sparkling, shining butterfly. And can you imagine yourself as that, being the one who is the hope for the world? You are the one who can then ensure that the world has plenty of flowers. The flowering of love, the flowering of light within each other. Because that is really the hope for the world. And you are it. We are it. But it's important for us to own our light, to own our truth. And again, wherever we find ourselves, be aware that there is that within us. Maybe we are in that place of letting things dissolve, letting things fall away. Maybe we're in that place of, oh, this doesn't feel good. Maybe I need to break free from what I have known. Maybe break free from how I've seen myself. And really give strength to that which I am becoming, so that I can take flight and soar. Not to escape the world, but to see it from a higher perspective. And to share your light from that higher perspective. I'm going to share with you just the last little bit of reading from this book. He says, we will heal the scars of the past and begin to do what we are created to do, dance. We will dance in the light, we will dance in hope, we will dance in truth. Darkness can have no dominion over the tribe of the human beings. It can never be the last word, because darkness is always our beginning, the beginning of that new life. We enter it only to be reborn again in the next cycle of our emergence. What is emerging? Can we have a focus on, wow, even in what we see is the muck and the goo and the ugh, can I see? What is emerging? What is emerging as me, and what is emerging in all of humanity? Celebrate our diversity in the tribe of human beings, for that is our strength and our future. Honor the earth. Respect the wisdom of the elders. Y'all got that right? The elders. Speak the truth. Do all of this, and you will be on the ladder to the light. I would say you will be the ladder to the light. You will be the light. And once you are there, once you have emerged into the world, we are recreating. Join the dance. Listen to the heartbeat of the drum, the endless cycles of dark and light, faith and fear, risk and renewal, and join the dance. Step out into the light and join the dance. The darkness will be no more. Beneath the bright, shining sun, join the dance and let the healing begin. And so it is. So I invite our practitioners to stand as they encircle our community and bring the light, be the light, and shine that light. So I invite you to open your heart, open your mind, and receive. Receive the reminder, the conscious connection that you are the light. You are the light represented by that beautiful winged creature called the butterfly, shiny and bright and beautiful. And imagine yourself soaring above the earth, above the world. Not to escape it, but to see it through the eyes of light and love. And know that you are here to then alight wherever you're drawn, to bring the light, to share the light, to be the beauty, to be the glory, and to bring that light, that awareness of truth to each other, to all humanity. We see each other. Can you see the beauty, the butterfly in the hearts of each other? Just waiting to be born, to be reborn, to be soaring in the awareness of who we truly are. So in that awareness, we ground ourselves. And in that grounding, we soar to new heights of knowing that we are the light, being that light, and and sharing that light in the world. You are the hope. You are the hope for the world. As you claim it, we allow it, we know it is our truth. And together let us proclaim as we declare, and so it is. Now's the time as our ushers come forward to receive our offering. I invite you to take what you're going to share, hold it in your hands. If you share it in other ways, I invite you to hold it in your heart, knowing that it is that life, that divine expression that is always moving, always guiding, always expressing. And we know that as we receive, we give in love and light, and we are blessed. We're so blessed as we receive and blessed as we give. We are so thankful. And together let us say, and so it is.
Here's your chance to dance. I heard you guys saying, yeah, we've come here to dance. I know a place where we can go to lay your troubles down, eating your soul. I know a place where mercy flows, to take its stains, make them whiter than snow. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings a little life. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Hey, hey, let's get washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Oh, let's go down, down, down to the river. Let's go down, down, down to the river. I've seen it move in my own life. Took me from dusty roads into paradise. All of my hurt, all of my shame, was drowned in seas that don't make you born again. Like a tide, it is rising up deep inside a current that moves and makes you come alive. Living water that brings the dead alive. We're going down to the river, down to the river, down to the river to pray. Hey, hey, let's get washed by the water, and rise up in amazing grace. Oh, let's go down, down,
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. We're not Catholics, but you sat down, come back up. No. Let's stand up again. So breathe into that awareness of that life energy that is flowing in you, through you, as you, and we're so grateful. Grateful for the knowing that we are that life expressing, and grateful for all the ways it expresses in us, through us, as us. These gifts and offerings this morning are simply a representation of that. And we are grateful, we are blessed. We receive in love, we share in love. And so it is together. Yes, so it is. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all. So, what do I want to say? Go out and soar this week. Just to remind yourself you are that. And there's something in you that is longing to emerge. And if whatever that looks like, the light that wants to be expressed as you. And just soar and share that light with the world. So let's just go out in the world and be the hope. Be the hope for the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
Let there be peace. I understand for peace. Let there be love. I understand for love. Let there be joy. I understand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I understand for peace. Let there be love. I understand for love. Let there be joy. I understand for joy. We are